Hey guys, welcome back to Farm Fact Friday. I hope you had a wonderful end to 2020 and you're looking forward to what's ahead in 2021. So the scene, of course, today is much different than what we typically do on the farm. You know, this isn't a tractor, or we're not in the field, we're not in a semi. But there is more to farming than just the animals and the machinery. We do find ourselves using other types of equipment, such as, our computer, laptop, checkbook, paper, pens, a mouse. So just like other businesses are preparing and finalizing from last year, preparing for the year ahead, farmers do the exact same thing, and what better time to do it than in the winter. So definitely a correlation there. So as things wrap up from last year, if there is any row crop farmers, they're working with potential landlords to make sure that rent is paid and how that's done appropriately, along with preparing for taxes and clearing up balance sheets and getting receipts all put in the right place. So there is some finalizing, and then just looking in general, how did things go, what do we need to plan for in the year ahead. And that's the second piece that is going on, and that's getting ready for whatever is to take place in 2021. So that could be all kinds of things. You can plan for what crops you're going to have in what field. You could be planning for the rotation of animals. You have to look at streams of income and expenses, what types of equipment needs traded, possibly what new things need to be acquired, what we can get rid of. Basically, how are we going to make this operation work in the days ahead? So for instance, this could specifically be working with your seed salesman and ordering appropriate quantities of seed for whatever fields you're going to have. Beans, corn in the Midwest, those are things that we look at. It could also be scheduling fertilizers and that sort of thing. So it all comes into working through it at this time of year. So you look at income, projected incomes, projected expenses, and you want to make sure the ends meet, of course. Then one of the other things specific to us at the insurance agency is you want to make sure that you have proper coverage. Now, whether you work with us or not, that's certainly your own choice, but one thing we like to have those conversations with our clients to make sure they're comfortable with the coverages that they select, and to make sure that their operation is as well protected as it can be, because we cannot control everything, and we certainly can't predict when those things happen as well. So these could be different questions, such as what happens if something happens to my barn? What happens if something weather related hurts our building? What happens if we can't operate properly because weather impacts our bins or our equipment? So those are important things to note, and making sure that they get rebuilt at that particular, the quickest way possible. When from an equipment standpoint, you can ask the question of, what if an animal finds its house in our equipment over the winter months, and then when we start it up, it runs through that piece of equipment, or it damages wiring, those sort of things. So definitely want to look at the coverages related to equipment. And then from a liability standpoint, making sure that if we're on the roadway with other drivers, if a collision happens, how am I covered? Or If my animals get out of the barn and head into the roadway and cause an accident, what does that look like? If I'm spraying the field to take care of anything undesirable, what happens if that drifts into someone else's yard and causes damage? So all of these are questions that can be asked to get the coverages that are appropriate for your farm operation. Then, of course, if you have livestock and something happens, like a fire, and wipes out those animals, very, very unfortunate. You have to look at it from a business income standpoint. You know, if you rely on that income to help take care of the expenses that are coming in, but that income is no longer there because of the situation that happened, how am I going to make sure that my farm operation can still take care of the expenses that are coming through? So all of these are certainly valid questions, ones that you, if you have the questions, you don't have to figure out the answers on your own. Our insurance agents are more than happy to, you know, understand your situation, understand exactly how you farm and how you like to operate, and then make sure that everything that you work so hard for is properly taken care of. So with that, this may be one of the less enjoyable parts of farming in terms of like actually getting out there and doing the work on the tractor or feeding the animals, but it is certainly necessary, especially if there's multiple people involved with the operation, to make sure everyone's on the same page and you understand where everything's going. So with that, hope you have a great rest of your Friday, a wonderful weekend, and we'll check you back next week for another Farm Fact Friday. Take care.